What's up, everyone? This is my video response to Edges of Blades contest. First, congrats on your subs, man. Very cool. Very cool indeed. It's always a plus when subs go up. It sucks when they go down. But anyway, I think your contest is pretty damn unique. I have to give you credit on that. And I did send you a reply. Since your contest is so unique, then I'm going to do a unique, one-of-a-kind kind of video for you, which might be a little lengthy. So I might have to space my words out a little bit because of what I'm planning on doing. But first, before I get into answering your questions, because I'm going to answer them all, and I'm actually going to do every single one of the categories. I used to do multiple videos, but I forget what the hell. Maybe let's throw them all into one, save you the time of watching, multiple stuff. Let me show you what I can do when I actually have time for artwork. Anyway, this is not my entry piece. I'm just showing you. I've shown this on other videos. Harley and the Joker. Grab what was out pretty much. This is when I have a lot of time. Wolverine in the Woods. And last but not least, Spider-Man and Venom. I'm not that bad of an artist, or at least I used to be back in the day. Not really good at speed drawing. This is usually what happens when I draw stuff really quick. Kind of comes out sloppy, but what the hell. So anyway, for your contest, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this as a backboard because it's the only thing I got right now. Everything else is kind of packed or hidden. Going to use this paper. It's pretty thick, nothing on any side. Going to put it down on my backboard here, and I'm going to actually draw something while I'm answering your questions because I figured, what the hell, it could be pretty cool. So I'm going to try to answer the questions as best I can, and don't mind me if I'm not looking at the camera a lot of times because I'm going to concentrate on the drawing while I'm giving you the answers. What I'm going to be using, because I don't know what the hell I did with any of my art stuff lately. I don't know where I put my pad, but anyway. I got a fine tip marker. I'm going to be using a Powerpuff Girls number 2 pencil, sharpened, and a mechanical, dropping the stuff already, mechanical pencil, mostly for the eraser and fine-tune stuff. So, now, I'm going to try to raise this so you can actually see me drawing the damn thing while I'm doing the interview. While I'm answering your questions. Alrighty, fix this. This is going to be hard because I'm used to leaving it on the thing. Your first question, if I get it right, was who would make a good replacement for Santa if by some chance Santa, got injured or sick or whatever it is that, whatever happens to Santa in the North Pole. So I was thinking about it. I was thinking, who would make a really good replacement? I was thinking Spider-Man at first. I'm like, yeah. But quite honestly, the only real person I can see totally making an awesome Santa would be Superman. Because Superman, you got to think about it. He's super strong, so he can basically. I'm trying to leave this up. So he can basically, put all the presents he wants in like a storage container and carry that around at super speed. That's another big plus. And not only that, but he's got the hell is it, X-ray vision, so he can see who's sleeping. He can actually hear who's sleeping too if he really wanted to go that way. And because he's invulnerable, if by some chance he goes down a chimney that's already got a fire, that doesn't matter because it's not going to hurt him. And plus, like I said, with super speed, he can get around the world and deliver presents to everybody in record time, probably even faster than Santa. So, if anyone would make an awesome replacement for Santa, I believe it definitely would be Superman for all those reasons. Moving on to your next question that you had. You were asking what would make a good comic book movie of something that isn't out yet or isn't coming out or post-production or anything that they haven't done. It's a good one. It's a good one. And you were saying in your video that the more detailed you get, the more entries you get, which is pretty cool. So I would think, I know if Marvel can do the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I know is already in production, it's getting made and stuff like that, but something along those lines, I think a cool movie would be, because I'm on this kind of a kick, would be The New Warriors. I think that would be a pretty cool, interesting movie. If, like I said, if they can do Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't see why they can't do New Warriors. Only problem I see with New Warriors is the fact that you need You probably need teenagers, which is kind of hard to find nowadays because there's not many. You'd have to go probably for unknown actors to get it really right. But in a perfect world, if I could pick anybody I wanted to cast it, regardless of age, because like the way I see it, Hugh Jackman is like probably the best Wolverine, but he's not exactly his height, you know. So I'm gonna cast any Warriors how I see fit that I think would be pretty cool if you could just forget about the age and stuff like that. First up would be Night Thrasher, and Night Thrasher I think the person that would make a good Night Thrasher would be Michael Jai White. I think he would make a perfect Night Thrasher, which most people seen him in Spawn, so you know how he is. Good martial artist, he's a good actor and all around. So he would be a pretty cool Night Thrasher. Before I actually get into that, let me do the director too, because you wonder who would be a good director. I think Brett Ratner would be a pretty cool director, because if you ever watch his Rush Hour movies, they were really cool. They were funny, and they were action packed. Granted, his X-Men 3 wasn't the greatest of all the X-Men, but it wasn't too bad. It needed some changes here and there. So either Brett Ratner or Bryan Singer would be cool if you wanted to make it dark, but I think Brett Ratner would make a better choice for the new Warriors. And moving on to the characters again. I know most people can't stand him right now because he's everybody, but I think Nova would be really well played by Ryan Reynolds. Just because Nova's kind of like, in a way, kind of like Hal Jordan. He's kind of arrogant a little bit. He thinks he's indestructible, which he technically is. So he'd be pretty cool as Nova. Speedball, I think maybe Michael Cera might make a good Speedball. Because you can kind of use sarcastic, because Speedball's kind of funny in a way, but he was kind of almost like, not really stupid, but, he's Speedball. He bounces around, he, kind of like, what, but, so he'd make a pretty cool Speedball, Michael Cera. As for Namorita, I think, like I said, if age didn't count, then Sable, the wrestler Sable, from like way back when, she'd make a really cool Namorita. If he was still alive, Michael Clark Duncan would make a really cool Rage character. And, damn, nose is just not good. It's all the stuff coming around. Silhouette, I think she was in the New Warriors as well later on. Halle Berry would make a pretty cool Silhouette. And, let's see, Marvel Boy. Marvel Boy. Chris Evans would make a pretty good Marvel Boy. Granted, he's been Human Torch and he's been Captain America. But, he's got that kind of pretty boy look kind of thing to it. So, I would choose Chris Evans. And last but not least, if you bring back Emma Stone's red hair, she would make an awesome Firestar. I think she would be perfect for that. So that would be the movie that I would go for. And if you give me one sec, this thing should be very well done. Yeah, not bad. I figured, what the hell, since I was discussing who'd make a pretty good replacement Superman. Replacement Santa. Superman. Not bad for 8 minutes. Yeah, it's coming off. Yeah, it's the one thing that sucks about this paper. It's pretty cool because it holds the colors in, but when you touch it after, it kind of sometimes it just smears. As you can see, it's smearing all over the place. But anyway, there's Superman. So I hope this counts as the artwork. And as I'm going into the other question you have, I think I'm going to try to draw another character. Let's see how fast I can draw it, but I'm going to use the marker on this one. Get another piece of paper there. All right. Yeah, so New Warriors would be an awesome, what's the word? An awesome movie that isn't out yet that I think would be pretty cool. Hold this up so I see what drawing. And your final question, besides the drawing, because you said that I think you get 40 entries if you show a drawing, something nice that, not stick figure, which I just showed you Superman. The evil Superman, when he had the red kryptonite there. Or not the red kryptonite, the altered green kryptonite. The last one of your questions was if you could change anything in comics, what would you change and why? And something epic. Well, the one thing that's been nagging the hell out of me lately that I would love to totally change, which I don't know how epic it would be. It was kind of epic when they made it. So I don't know how epic it would be if I could change what it is I want to change. Is Wolverine's past. Me personally, I liked him better when he didn't have a clue as to who the hell he was, because he just seemed like more of um, an interesting character. I think he was more fun, like when he was trying to figure out what he was, who he was, all those kinds of things. Because now it's kind of like he is. Like, granted, you can get away with storyline. You can make anything you want. Like, you can, he's like, oh, he was a cowboy. He was, this. He was that. But now it's like, oh, he was a murderer and, an assassin. And, okay, fine, he's an assassin. But I don't know. It kind of just gets to me. I think he was just a cooler character when you didn't have a clue as who he was, because he just kind of made him more fun to read. Like, you didn't know. It was kind of a bitch, granted, like when you didn't know who he was, because a lot of times you would get all those false leads. It's like, all right, he was, a secret agent for the Canadian government, and then you find out that was totally false, and then, he was a cowboy, and then you find out that was false, and then later on they reveal it again, saying it was true. So it was confusing, but it was kind of cool. I mean, like I said, I don't know how epic that would be if they went back and got rid of his memories. As to how they would do that, I don't have a clue. I mean, you can make up anything you want. I mean, hell, you can do the adamantium bullet like they did with Wolverine Origins movie. Shoot him in the head with an adamantium bullet and he doesn't remember a damn thing. Which would be interesting, because I would definitely tie the comics into the movies. So, like I said, I don't know how epic that would be, but that would pretty much be something that I would want to change, because I know a lot of people would pick like the death of Jean Grey, with the Phoenix, or even the Phoenix Force now with killing off Professor X and stuff like that, making Cyclops bad. Technically, he's really not bad, but hang on one sec. Sorry, hang on. Sorry, doing two things at once is rough. But yeah, so I hope I answered all the questions correctly, and I hope all this stuff counts. But just to recap, let's see, got Santa. Good replacement would be Superman, and I explained why. And then, of course, a movie that isn't out yet, that isn't in post-production, would be pretty cool to make. Would definitely, I think, would be New Warriors, and like I said, I cast my characters I think would make cool New Warriors. I didn't say a villain, because I really don't really remember who are villains for the New Warriors. I really can't remember, otherwise I'd say I'd throw in a villain. But you can pretty much use anybody nowadays. So, let me think. A villain. I really honestly don't know of any of the villains for... don't know. I don't remember any of the villains they had. Well, I remember Gideon was in there, who was an X-Men villain. I remember one of the comics that had him. So Gideon, who can duplicate everyone's powers. Let's see. Who would make a good Gideon? Damn, that's a tough one. Wow, that really is tough trying to think of Gideon now. Damn. I'll get back to him. But anyway, yeah, so the New Warriors, I named everyone, for the New Warriors, I think would make pretty good characters if it was a perfect world and they didn't have to worry about age or any of that stuff. And an epic thing I would change in comics would definitely be Wolverine's past. Get rid of it, make him, amnesia again. He doesn't know who or what he is, or who he was, or any of that stuff. And the last thing on the list was show a drawing that doesn't suck, and isn't a stick figure. And as you can see before, I showed you Superman that I drew with the pencils. And if you give me one more second while I'm thinking about Gideon, yeah. Spider-Man shooting his web. As you can see, that was the last page. And there's my Batman. So, drew Superman, and I drew Spider-Man. There we go. I'll get used to this camera one day. Spider-Man, Superman, on the backboard of Batman. So yeah, those drawings, I hope they count. And as for Gideon, who the hell could I have as Gideon? That's a tough one. trying to think of, I think Sean Connery would be pretty funny as Gideon. He's really, really old. Actually, you know who would make a good one, even though he's not an actor? The guy from Live, the lead singer of Live. He kind of looks like him if you gave him his old haircut with the thing. There we go. So hopefully, like I said, it's a 15-minute long thing, but like I said, it took me a little longer to draw some of these things than I thought it would. But anyway, I hope this stuff counts. And again, congratulations on your subs, and thanks for having the contest. And let me know if this stuff counts. Later.